Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and well, this is a live stream, so let's get right into it. If you're just tuning in, you got questions, whatever, get them in the chat box wherever it appears on your device. Super chats, get a spin of the wheel. I just repacked the bearing, cleaned the whole thing out, tightened it down. It should be hitting a lot more, so we're going to go with that. Also, maybe we'll get lucky and get a call from our boy Slimothy J. Whitman, the third DDS Esquire, today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this week's top 5. We've got some more of those coming up for you, as well as more explained videos and, of course, a review a day. So I know we got a few super chats right away, so we're going to try to get those out of the way, bang into the questions. Don't forget there's also a poll going on inside the chat box. So the first super chat goes to Letters, and he's like, I don't have a problem, just need a spin. Sounds like you have a problem. Could just be me, though. What do we got? Oh, shit. Well, medium sticker pack right off the bat for Letters. You know the drill. Email me info@angrysnowboarder.com with that mailing address. We'll get that going. Also, to get everyone stoked, this is awesome right now. A basin has the cat out and is pushing snow down around the base area. So they're going to be getting ready to open here real soon. They just put that up on Eld's blog 2 hours ago. So hopefully everyone's getting stoked for that. I know that a couple of the Midwest resorts like Trollhagen and Wild Mountain and stuff have opened already. Good for them. And they've closed. So, you know, we're getting there. All right, we got another super chat here from Brandon. Spin to win, working new hours so I can shred more. Shred more always. Always shred more. And eat at Joe's. Eat at Joe's. All right. And super chat from Surf Punk looking for a spin for the Midwest. Okay. Where are we going? Ooh, subscribe or else. All right, we got a question here from Kier Copeland. Hey, Angry, what's happening? Is the ride berserker small waist noticeable when riding, or just the deeper side cut make boot drag less preventable? Stop looking at the center of a board. Like this. Center, right? Do you mount your fucking bindings right here? No, you mount them here and here. Right here, waist width, that's ski shit. You need to know the width at the insert pack. That's the difference. That is the thing you should know, insert pack. So what you want to do is take your tip width, subtract your waist width, divide that number by 2, add it back to the waist width number, and roughly, not accounting for the side cut radius, is your width at the insert pack. That is so much more important than waist width. So much more. Okay, we got another super chat from Fruit Poop Loop. Spin for our boy Slimmy Withman. Withman. Ooh. His name has developed a lisp. Well, won yourself a small sticker pack, sir. You know the drill. All right. Okay. Okay, we got one here from Waco. I'll kick it off. Since the nose of a board gets floppy at higher speeds, but a too stiff board in the middle is just work. Why don't more boards have a reverse stiffness like the old sashimi? I don't know, because people are scared of that. Because most boards are designed to be freestyle flex. To an extent, you want that nose to flex a little bit. You don't want it to just slam through everything either. So that's part of it as well. Also, did everyone remember their pocket bacon? Got to remember your pocket bacon on these live streams, people. It's all about the pocket bacon. That's greasy. All right. So we got a super chat here from Noodles. Can you compare the Super Pig to the Passport? Super Pig's wider, volume shifted, different side cut, setback camber, softer nose. Doesn't have the same type of pop to it. I think the Passport is honestly better on edge. It just feels like a better ride. It's also not volume shifted, so you don't have that shrink down in there going on as well. Okay. Let's give you a spin here, sir. Wiener. Got that glizzy gang going on here. All right. Ambitious Hacks. Are you going to do a review of the Burton process? Probably not. They don't send me shit. Okay. Crocus, do you have a review of the Jones Mind Expander, not the twin version, in the works? Been riding the Jones Frontier. Will the Mind Expander be a good daily driver? I know it will work in POW. I mean, I wouldn't make it a daily driver. It has its limitations, but now that they added Camber to it, it's more versatile than when it was Surf Rocker. Yeah, there is a review of that coming. So, pocket bacon, people. It's all about the pocket bacon. So, all right. Will Doyle, the white ribbon of death is Mad Max on snow. You got to watch out for those snow juggalos, man. You'll be riding along, and all of a sudden you hear whoop, whoop, and then they freaking hit you from behind, and you're taken out. So, yeah, got to watch out for that. Okay. Ray Lewis, got my backcountry email about the white space gear. What would it take to get a white space board review? Would be great content. Why do you think it would be great content? Like what? So I can sit around and review a board that's middle of the road, maybe slightly above middle of the road compared to every other brand out there. What? Oh, look, he rode Shaun White's fucking boards that keep selling out because people want to buy something with his fucking name on it. Oh, look, I bought a $12,000 fucking snowboard and didn't get an OTPHJ out of it. It wouldn't be good content. I don't give a fuck about that. They're only being sold at Backcountry. I nixed them from the affiliate program because they fucking kept trying to say that people were returning shit when they weren't. Like, literally, my friend bought something with a custom tracking code so I could track it for Backcountry, and they said it returned it, and I was like arguing with them, and I'm like, no, he didn't. He's sitting here in my living room with it. So, yeah, fuck them. Okay. Ole Venom. Best all-mountain / free ride board with an overall rocker profile. FEX C2X. So, if you're going to go with like C2X, probably, and you're looking for something for best all-mountain free ride. So I really like that niche story. That's actually really good. But looking at like Mervin stuff, the old T-Raz was cool, but they got rid of that. Honestly, haven't they gotten rid of most of their stuff's gone C3 now? I mean, I wouldn't ride that profile for free ride. That's just me. Ooh. All right. We got a super chat from Shylings. Spin for 50-cent wings and a free pack of pocket bacon at Joe's. Does anyone even do 50-cent wings anymore? It's fucking ridiculous. The price of chicken for the chicken wings. It's fucking ridiculous. They used to just throw those away back in the day. Now they fry them and they're delicious. Like 7 wings. 7 wings is like $14 here now. $2 a fucking wing? That just doesn't seem fair. We should all eat at Joe's. If Joe's got 50-cent wings, we should all eat there. Ooh, game over. That was so close to winning. All right. Shout out to Adam Kanowski listening to us as he's riding 200 feet of Wisconsin slush. Shout out to the troll hogging crew. Joey Lugger, where's the live stream lasagna? You don't get lasagna on the live stream. Speaking of lasagna, though, did talk to Tommy B today. He's actually cleared to ride. Can't freestyle, but he can go make turns if he wants to. So that was pretty cool to hear. So he's coming along really fast in his recovery. Okay, we got Sean Elliott with the super chat. Have you ridden the Battalion Disaster Plus? Thoughts? It's overpriced. It literally felt like it was softer than the regular Disaster, which I was really surprised for. It's just overrated. It's not worth the price increase. Just buy the Disaster. Like, for what that board is, you don't need a Disaster Plus. It's like literally pointless. Oof. You lose. Shanbo Zhang, can you do a quick comparison between the Mega Merc and the standard Unink? Yeah, so Mega Merc is more like reactive when you load it up. You just notice that it wants to spring back a lot faster than the standard Unink. That changes the pop properties in it. Even though it doesn't have as long of a camber zone as the standard Unink, it wants to pop more aggressively when you load it up, where the standard Unink is more consistent. It feels like an older snowboard that you've ridden. On edge, I actually have to give the edge control to the standard Unink, just with the way that the side cut technology on the Yes works. It grips, it holds in a lot better. Flex-wise, they're pretty similar, except between the feet, the standard Unink is a hair stiffer. So, yeah. All right, we got a super chat here from Michael Kula. Glad to see you have snow. Hopefully a great year. Snowed at Snowshoe last 2 nights, and Altera spent snowed at Snowshoe last 2 nights, and Altera spent $6 million in new snow guns this year. The post of Chad pillow dropping was money. Yeah, Chad. If you aren't following Chad Otterstrom on Instagram, you're fucking blowing it. Also, yeah, East Coast got snowed. It snowed in my hometown in New York. I was talking to my mom. It dropped a couple inches there, and they actually had to plow. So it's cool to see that people are starting to get snow. I think it's cool to see some of the resorts starting to open. We're getting there. Remember, it's going to be a long season. We got this. You know what you got to do. Spray skiers, bitches. Joshua LM66, opinion on the 2023 Battalion Goliath. I'm not a fan of the Goliath personally. It's just not my style of board. I really like the Fun Kink more. And I think the 3BT is a little aggressive on that, so it doesn't grip where you really, really want it to when you're driving it on edge, when you're on firmer or icier snow. It's got a lot of power out of it. That camber that it's got, you can load it up and react. If you haven't checked out the older review of it, I think it's like last year I did a review of it. You should, because nothing's really changed on it. KL, have you ridden the Burton Showstopper? No. Okay, super chat here from Napri1. Would you be confident in using the GNU Gremlin as a daily? I mean, I would. I don't know about you, but I ride a lot of shit for my daily. My favorite park board for the longest time was a K2 Cool Beam. It's not even twin tip. It's full directional. I mean, it depends what you're going to use it for. I mean, if you're asking what I'm confident in, I mean, I got stacks of boards sitting here. I could ride any one of them for a daily if I had to. You? I don't know about. Remember to ollie those slow signs, people. Ollie those slow signs. Okay. Oh, let's see. Orion Mosenzadeh. How does the Solomon Huck knife compare to the Abstract? Well, the Abstract is like a board dipped in dog shit. It's fucking dead, lifeless. It's a turd. The side cut sucks. It's just a very, at the end of the day, you ride the Abstract and you're like, well, it was a fucking snowboard. It's the white New Balance of snowboards. Like, at least with the Huck knife, they put the Assassin carbon in it. You get more snap out of the tip and the tail of that board. It's just a better board all around. It's got better pop. It carves better. It flexes better. The Abstract is so fucking mediocre. Literally, probably the worst board I rode this year. So, yeah. All right. Brooke Polson. Best music for shredding pow. Jethro Tull, Screeching Weasel, or Lawrence Welk. Oh, it's always Lawrence Welk. Come on. Jeez, get with your shit together. All right. Let's see. Where were we? Okay, we got a super chat here from Bobo03301. You rock and helped me decide on a Mercury a few years ago. I did, probably. Sold a lot of those to people a few years ago. It's my number one selling board a few years ago. Glad you're stoked on it, bud. Glad you're stoked on it. Let's see what we got here. Subscribe or else, people. Subscribe or else. Shout out to our boys, Jim and Ted's Excellent Adventure at Shred Ahead Snowboarding, the oldest YouTube snowboarders. Just letting us know that they got some Amplitude boards and they can't wait to slide on them. So, yeah, shout out to those guys. Okay, Fruit Poop Loops asking if you can cut your Remind liners to get them to fit better in, or your footbeds to fit better. Yes, you can. You really want to take the old footbed, place it on top, trace the top of it. So you're going to trace it across here. Then you just want to make sure you have really sharp scissors. You're going to cut that. One of the things that I would recommend is you take a razor blade and kind of bevel the side of it. So that way it's got an angle in there, so it'll just sit better, more flush inside the bottom of the liner in there. But yes, you can totally trim those. You don't have to worry about that. So, all right, I know we got a few more people in here that are just getting in here. So if you're just getting in here, Super Chat's get a spin of the wheel. Your questions will be answered if you can get them in the chat box wherever it appears on your device. Don't forget to answer the poll that we got going on there. You know, keep it cool. Don't be a douche canoe. Life advice. Okay, let's see. We got Andrew Hernandez with the super chat. Options for an ultra-wide camber board for a 270-pound rider, size 13.5 boot. This big boy wants snap and to charge hard. Okay, so ultra-wides, you're pretty much looking at Libtech or Nidecker. Those are the two with the most wide boards on there. With Nidecker, it's like the Escape and the Escape Plus. With being 270 pounds, you obviously need to go to a plus. One of the other ones that I would look at, though, that isn't technically an ultra wide, but it is wide, would be the Rosinal Juggernaut. That board is super stiff and true twin. Otherwise, you could look at like a Marhar Lumberjack X, but do the custom made one. Reach out to them and ask them if they could put an extra carbon X so that but it's an offset X, so that it'll be like very mellow at the inserts, but it spreads out wider towards the tip and the tail. If they can do like an extra carbon X in there, you'll get more snap out of that board and you can get inserts, but it's made for you. I want to say Signal has an ultra wide too. The other thing is you might be able to get away with like a ride bench warmer. At 270, you're looking in the 160 size, even for like a park board in there. So, you know, like lowest I would go would be 59, and I still think that would be overkill at 270. I think you'd kill that board, but I would look at the bench warmer as well. So hopefully that gives you a few options of where you need to be going to look at stuff. Good luck, sir. Good luck. And remember to spray skiers. Super Dave, any forum snowboard inside informations? They're made at Capita. I think everyone kind of knows that at this point. All right. Ryan Tracy, would you recommend the Marhar Lumberjack or Lumberjack X for an East Coast one board quiver? And also what size? 230 pounds, size 13 boots. Go with the Lumberjack X. You're going to get more snap out of it. That'll help you with carves on that ice. It's going to grip a little more aggressively just because of the way the camber comes down. At 230 pounds, you want the 155. Fruit Poop Lips, people on r/snowboarding recommending the good ride. The future isn't looking very bright. I'd say it's looking fucking great because if you have troglodytes recommending troglodytes, it keeps them all in one place and you don't have to worry about them. Like, fuck those people. Okay. Michael Y. Hi, Angry. How do you pair up a board with bindings? Stiff board with stiff bindings, or would you be better with a more mellow flexing binding? It's a lot of, like, if you're talking personally, I always look at my personal preference. So I ride like a really stiff boot and then like a medium flex board for most stuff in there. So with bindings, I don't really care. I want meat and potatoes by and large for most stuff. I just want to be able to set it, forget it, and lock in. Ideally, you want to do, like, if you're looking for super, super stiff, you want stiff boots, stiff binding, stiff board, right? If you're looking for something that's a little loose, soft boots, soft binding, soft board. Then you get into your personal preference and how you want to match it in there. I think most people realistically just need an all-mountain freestyle binding or an all-mountain free ride, something that can kind of handle it all. Has a little bit of lateral play, but it's not so much that, you know, it's going to give out on you. Also, eat your pocket bacon, people. Okay. Let's see, where were we? Got one here from MJV14. Worth putting in the stiffest bent metal drive plate on the logic binding to drive a dynamo for all mountain free ride in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, if you're trying to stiffen up your logic, then adding the one from the solution will help a little bit. It's going to help with that toe and edge control from toe to heel. But by and large, I mean, realistically, the logic is an underpowering binding for the dynamo. You should probably bump up to the transfer overall. Just my 2 cents. Okay. We got James McPeak. Roam Agent or LibTRS for a daily driver, mostly ripping groomers, side hits, etc. Only a few runs through the park per day. You got to understand the stiffness difference between the Agent and the TRS. The TRS is leaps and bounds stiffer and more aggressive than the Roam Agent. Like, being laid back on the TRS is, you're still got to be a little bit on edge, just being prepared for how it's going to act because it can get a little twitchy and be aggressive. Whereas the Agent's more laid back. It's still going to have solid snap. It's got a solid side cut. You know, it's more of a twin freestyle board where the TRS is like a high end freestyle board that you can ride everywhere. You got to really ask yourself what you're looking for. Also, if you're riding icier conditions, I think the side cut with the magnet traction on the TRS will be better for you. So, I don't know. All right. Lil Willie, what would you recommend for a board to use at Mount Bulimia? Doesn't own a groomer and it's steep tree runs. Oh, yeah. Good old Upper Peninsula, Michigan, baby. So it depends on how stiff you want to go and like how aggressive you want to get. But if you're sticking with a local brand, you go with the Marhar Woodsman. Just that shape, that setback, it's volume shifted. You know, you can get that 145. It'll be good for those tight trees that you get in there. And when you hit the flatter sections of that resort, you'll be able to pump through. Personally, I think boards like the Rosnell Sashimi, the Jones Stormwolf, or the Hovercraft, kind of give or take in there. I'd probably go lean a little more towards the Hovercraft in there. Maybe like a Rome Stalefish, a Tellus Backslash, or even a Rome Ravine or Ravine Select would be really, really good there. Just because, you know, you're not getting length of runs, you're just getting hot blasts. And then it's like you get through, you get in, and it flattens and it's steep and it's flat and steep and just the way it is. You want something that's going to be able to pump through the flats and keep its speed for you. Okay. Another super chat here from Fruit Poop Loops. K2 instrument versus the K2 Passport. Instrument's the softest, ton of torsional flex, medium volume shift, so you can actually size down it. Passport is not. Passport is stiffer, has more carbon in it, is a more aggressive board. Basically, Instrument is like my first free ride POW board, and then the Passport is like, this is my high-end all-mountain free ride charger board that can do everything, including going to the park. That's the two ways of the way you want to be with it on there. So, that's what you got going on with those two. Ooh, so close. Try again. All right, we got one here from Michael Kulig. Symphony of Destruction or the Sentinel for a bomb downhill run? Oh, I got to go with the Sentinel on that one. Got to go with the Sentinel for sure. Can't go wrong with Judas Priest like that. So, although Symphony of Destruction is pretty good too. But I got to go with the Sentinel. Okay, Robert Fowler with the super chat. Have half a chicken wing on me. Whew. Probably choke on it and die. God, that'd be the dream. I could be dead and I could finally sleep. I got like 4 hours of sleep last night. And my dog decided to puke a whole bunch of grass all over the living room. Oh, but you did win yourself a small sticker pack, Robert. So, you got that going for you. So all you got to do is email me, info@angrysnowboarder.com, and I'll get that in the mail to you sometime in the next few days, probably, because I got to mail out a bunch of shit. Okay. Got one here from Bowen Hudnall. Are you going to drop a 2023 DOA review? I have a DOA and a super DOA sitting in the other room in the wrapper. I am going to wait until probably late November, early December to ride those because I want to have a bit of a park to go. I just couldn't get to them at the end of the season. I had so much other stuff to do. So you will get something. You just won't get it anytime in the next month and a half to 2 months. Well, no, it's halfway. Yeah, month and a half. So about time. So yeah, that's where we at. Okay. Helena Noguera. Any recommendations for splitboarding? Yeah, I don't split board. I don't care to. If you're looking for split board reviews, Mike Hardacre over at mountainweeklynews.com. He's the guy to go to for that. That's like his thing, and I want nothing to do with that. That is too much work. I ride flying couches to the top of the resort. So, okay. Where were we? Got one here from Konstantinos Chronopoulos. Avran, if someone finds their perfect board and want to get an extra pair, how long do you think they would last in the box? Or favorite perfect boot and want to get them extra pair, how long do you think they would last in the world? I've got 2 pairs of Thraxis that I've been sitting on for 8 months now, something like that. Yeah, 8 months in there. I mean, if it's not getting waterlogged from moisture or anything like that, it's just sitting in the box and it's safe. Mice aren't getting in there and shitting in it and tearing it apart. Should be fine as long as like anything that's plastic doesn't dry out. Those things can probably sit for years and you'll be good. Luke Desanier, do you change your stance width based on the intended purpose of each board, or do you have a preferred stance for every kind of riding? Also your angles. Literally every review, it says 21.5, 15, -12. That's it. Every review. It goes like this. I do the intro. I tell you where I wrote it and what I wrote it on. And if you watch the little pop-up come up, it tells you the board length, stance, boot size. You're good. Literally every review. Hawks fan, how's that sponsor me tape going for the Unstrapped podcast? Or did you learn to become a better influencer? I'm learning how to influence people's sponsor me tapes so that Andrew Brewer and Jim Dunnigan and I will be able to make better snowboarders out of all of you. Actually, if you guys haven't caught Unstrapped Snowboarding, there's a link in the description. Go check it out. They got 4 episodes up, getting in there. I like hearing what Brewer's got to say. It's kind of like a clip show, kind of what's going on, kind of talks graphics and colorways and shit on stuff. It's cool. It's like, I like seeing a different type of review where he's going off graphics only. I was like, oh, that's cool. because I don't give a fuck about graphics. But yeah, Unstrapped Snowboarding. Each episode's about 40 to 50 minutes long. They got 4 episodes up. We're trying to get them more subscribers. Let's get them taken care of. They drop 1 episode a week. I think it's Tuesdays they drop it, Mondays, Tuesdays, something like that. You guys should follow them. It's a good show. Check it out. I think you got your bomb hole, you got me doing live streams, you got whatever Slush Magazine is sniffing farts on. So it's just alternative content for you guys. I think you definitely need to check that out. Okay, let's see. Okay, One-Eyed Willie. Don't choke yourself with your left hand. You think the K2 instrument would be a good pick for the Pacific Northwest Mountain? Yes, I do, if it fits your skill level. Like, you're an intermediate rider. You're not charging super aggressive. You're not trying to point it through lumpy mashed potato snow 24/7. Totally good all-mountain free ride board with more emphasis on the free ride and riding that heavy hot pow you get up there. If you're really trying to charge harder and you need more stability and shit in there, you'd be better off going to like an Excavator or a Passport or an Antidote or even an Alchemist. So yeah. James McPeak. K2 Excavator or Alchemist for ripping down the hill, but also good on a powder day. If you want it to be more POW specific, you go with the Excavator. If you want it to be better on a groomer, you go with the Alchemist. That's the way you got to look at the differentiation between the two. Not saying the Excavator isn't good on a groomer, and I'm not saying the Alchemist isn't good in powder. That's just like, you're going to sacrifice powder flow or powder control just because the Alchemist is so stiff and aggressive with that. But with the Excavator, you're going to get better powder flow, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit of the snap and power like the Alchemist has. Okay. Daniel Naranjo. Going on a cat trip in February. I have a Yes Pick Your Line, Black Snowbird of Death from Capita, John's Hovercraft, and a Burton Landlord to choose from. What board do I take if I can only take one? I'd either go Pick Your Line or Hovercraft, and I'd probably lean more towards the Hovercraft. Okay, we got Francois Seguin. Spin for our boy Slimothy. Good old Slimothy. Oh, Francois, you won yourself a small sticker pack. You know how to get a hold of me. Do it. Get that in the mail to you if you want it. Okay. Steve, okay. Thanks for the binding recommendation. Picked up a pair of 2022 Ride C8s for my K2 Excavator on clearance. For $200, I'll live with the electric green color. For $200, you can go spend $7 on a can of Krylon Fusion spray paint and make them flat black. Then when they start to chip off, it looks really cool because you've got a unique colorway on there. There you go. Little tip for you. Arts and crafts with Uncle Avran. Jason Robertson, has your buddy L Stacker returned to you yet? No, I don't think he knows I unblocked him. I'm really disappointed. Antonio Escarel, thoughts on the Oakley Target Line goggle? I just really like the more minimal, simpler design, or is it Anon M3 or M4 the way to go? Maybe top 5 goggles. So goggles, it really comes down to fit and like what your eyes have going on. I really love Oakley's lenses. Like, they're probably my personal favorite lenses. The problem is these new frames don't fit my face as well as a Dragon, so I actually use Dragons. If I could, I would just rock Oakley's 24/7. Just way better lens. Like, Oakley's here, Smith, then you got your Electric, Von Zipper, Anon, all those brands here. Then you got like, your Dang shades and that stuff here. And then somewhere down in the little cesspool of shit is the Amazon stuff. Matthew Everly, how do I properly explore inbound free ride terrain as a solo rider without being a liability to ski patrol? Advanced, intermediate, constantly holding back from getting the goods unless I'm with the homies. Just going to have to go for it. Scare yourself, man. Leave your comfort zone once a day. Explore one area and take the safest line you can find. Take it slow. kind of explore, look at all the terrain as you're going in there. You don't need to go Mach 10 into some terrain. Like when I'm someplace new I've never been, even if it's a pow field, if I'm not with anyone, I will be farting through that thing the first lap, kind of looking around, seeing what the role of the natural terrain is, looking to see if there's any like lollipop sticks sticking up that ski patrol have like knocked down on them, or that have been covered by the snow. You know, you could do that. Looking at the trail map and then looking at a topographical map will really help you to kind of read the terrain. You just got to kind of go for it. Like I always say, scare yourself once a day on a snowboard. Okay. All right, EV, watched your top 5 boards for the progressing intermediates 21-22. Thinking about picking up a 21-22 K2 ray gun on sale. Love that board. Binding recommendations. Thinking the ride C8s, but not entirely sure. C8s will be a little overpowering on the ray gun. You can actually go down to like the C6, and you'll still get the performance out of it, but you won't have that price increase, which I think it's like $100 difference. So that'll be good. I would also look at like the Rome Vice, the Battalion Astro binding as well. That's a really good one. You can choose between the ASIM wrap or the full wrap. ASIM wrap, you're going to get more lateral play. ASIM full wrap, more lateral drive, so you get a little more power out of it. I would probably also look at like Union Strata, maybe like a bent metal transfer as well. Hopefully that gives you a bunch of options right there. So yeah. Okay. Vanessa Vargas, top 5 boards for mid-Atlantic East Coast shredding. What for women? No. Okay. Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, Marco and Clamo. I got a 2019 Ride Twin Pig. I've ridden the piss out of, starting to delame on the nose. I'm going to fix it, but I'm considering grabbing a new one from this season as well. Any big changes since then? I may or not, may like or not. So I think the 19, I think that had the topless top sheet, but I can't remember off the top of my head. They got rid of that. So it'll be a little different. And I think there was a slight tweak to the side cut, but they really didn't make it into any of the marketing material. AIW. Avran, what are your thoughts on the Utah-based Wildhorn Outfitters? Alibaba Express. Goggles. Helmet. Gloves. Outerwear. Hi, can you put this logo here, and ship to here? Send. They don't design their own shit. Like, they're a provider of the U.S. ski and snowboard team, which provider means they send boxes of shit. None of the athletes ride it unless they forgot their shit. If their family's coming to visit, then they get to ride it. Amazon brand. Don't give a fuck about them. I don't want to answer that. Michael Jackson. Uncle Avran, if you had to choose one board for the rest of your days, what would it be? I think right now, currently, I would grab the public display. Directional twin, Camber, Mellow Flex, that's not going to kill me. Ride that thing till it fucking dies. Luke DeSaunier, if you can't perfectly center your boot on the board, is it better to have a bit more overhang on the toes or the heels? I would go a little toe heavy if you had to, just a little bit. I mean, if we're talking like this much, whoa, you fucked up somewhere. Gediminas Mexicus, hey, Angry, do you think the GNU Headspace Solomon Huck knife are better than the LibTech box knife? I saw your top 5. Just ordered my box knife for intermediate progression in the park. It's not that I think they're better. It's just like I put out the best all-around boards for the park. They're the more balanced ones. The box knife isn't as balanced as a Headspace or a Huck knife, in my opinion. Is it a bad board? Not by any means. You're fine. Go ride. Don't overthink it. All right. Got a super chat here from Ronan. Looking forward to the Black Friday event. Oh, Black Friday is coming. I can't decide if I'm doing 4 live streams or 3 this year. If I do 3, it's going to be 3 3-hour live streams, so 9 hours of live streaming. If I do 4, it's 4 2-hour live streams. Maybe I'll just do 5 and break it up with like 1 hour. I got to figure that out. This is I got to get everything set this weekend. I got to reach back out to Danny at Shred Foundation to get the fundraiser side of things going. I got to get the finalized prizes for Black Friday set up. Like, you guys are going to win some serious shit. It's going to be fucking amazing for everyone. So that's going to be cool. Also, we still have the contest going for donating to Shred Foundation. There's a link down in the description. Basically, we're looking for small and large women's and men's outerwear. If you send stuff to the Shred Foundation, make sure you put your name and your email address. I'm picking 3 winners that are going to get an Angry Snowboarder gift pack worth up to $100. So we got that. I know we got more people tuning in right now. So if you're just tuning in, get your questions in the chat box wherever it appears. I'm going to try to answer it. Super chats do get a spin of the wheel. So we got to give one here to our boy Ronan really quick. And remember to subscribe or else. And eat your pocket bacon. Pocket bacon's good for you. It's good for you. My knees are cheese. Have you ever done cat laps at Cooper? I haven't. I was supposed to. Then pandemic. Seems like a good deal. Only been there once and thought it was a pretty fun mountain. Should I check out Cat this year? Stick to flying couches? No, check out the Cat, man. Go up to Ski Cooper's. For those that don't know, Ski Cooper is this little co-op mountain outside Leadville. So it's the backside of Copper. You can get up through it for Minturn. It's the backside of Vale. It's a tiny little locals resort. They expanded the terrain. They put a new chairlift in, but they have the Chicago Ridge Cat. And I can't remember. It's pretty damn cheap for a cat lap, but the run is like this to this. But, you know, if you're getting off the beaten path, you're trying to get away from the crowds, fuck yeah, go do it. And eat your pocket bacon. Okay. Okay. JNack17. Avran, I just moved to Reno, Nevada. You can move there to watch a man die. And we'll be getting more into shredding this year. I'm looking to crank it up to 50 days this season instead of about 15. Advice for staying injury-free all season. Yeah. If you're going to ride more days, you ride less hours. You're not, that's the whole thing. Like, these people are like, I got to go open to close every fucking day. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. You have 4 hours of optimal snowboarding. You should optimize your snowboarding into that 4 hours to get the best runs of the day. You dip out when you start to get tired because that's how you get fatigued. That's how you hurt yourself. The other thing is stretch before and after snowboarding. Remember to drink your water. It's a very good thing to drink. Water, not beer on the mountain. Water. Stay hydrated, people. If you haven't, it's still early enough that you could probably get into the gym for a couple weeks and just do some minor strength training. Having an exercise bike is not bad for you, but you want to make sure that, you know, you're limber when you go ride. You want to make sure that you ease into the season. You're not going balls to the wall like, oh, I'm going open to close, opening day from the front till closing day. Ah! No, you ease into it. 4 to 6 hours. That's the window you really want to ride. This whole, like, I got to ride 8-9 hours a day. Why? You're riding like shit 90% of the time. Okay. All right. David Dixon, what are your thoughts on those portable boot dryers such as Hot Tronic or Dry Guy? If it's forced air, absolutely amazing. If it's the heat element one, worst thing you could put your boot on because you're not paying attention to it. It's actually expanding your foam. It's expanding the foam in your footbed. It's reshaping it slowly. It's causing it to break down faster. You want that forced air in there. So if you can get forced air, do it. Lewis Brooks, when picking the size of a board other than the weight suggestions, what else do you look at? How does it taste? You got to hold it up between your chin and your nose, and you got to bite it really hard, lick the wax, and see how it tastes. If it doesn't taste good, it's probably not the right size for it. No, seriously though, so your weight, your riding style, years riding, where you ride, the purpose of what you're looking for out of that specific board. Like I see comments all the time. They're like, he rides boards so small. And I'm like, I literally ride what they give me. But I do live in Colorado. When I lived in Washington, I rode bigger boards because that coastal snowpack is heavier. You need that bigger board. I'm riding lightweight fucking POW. I want to be able to hit the ground, push through it, and pop back up on top of it. A smaller board is just easier to handle. Same thing with the park. Like a smaller board is going to give you a better swing weight and spin around, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit of control and stuff. So there's like a happy medium. You got to figure out what it is in there. I've been riding 26 years, so for me, or 26 seasons. Yeah, 26. Jesus Christ, 26 seasons. For me, like 54 has always been my park size. 57 has been my all mountain size. 60 to 62 is kind of like my free ride POW size, which I'm super stoked. I just scored a deal on a used 160 wide Endeavor Archetype, so I can get rid of my 58 wide. So I'll be giving that away to one of you guys here in the future once I pick that up next month when the guy drives it through on his way to Crested Butte. So, but yeah, it's kind of just the whole personal preference. All right. Surf Punk, spin for Randy. No, we don't want him. He's eastbound and down. Loaded up on trucker speed, doing what they say can't be done. Oof. Remember to ollie slow signs. Omar, did I make a solid choice choosing the Yes Greats as my daily rider? Also have a deep thinker for some pub. Hardly do park, but want park-friendly-ish all month. Yeah, dude, you're fucking solid. Go ride. Shyling, speaking of Kookies, ready for the fancy kooks hitting the slopes? Dude, you want to talk about Kookies? I got something funny for you. I was at the store the other day, and where is it? Where's that photo? And I was at the store, and I was like, what the hell is this shit? Because it was, there's these cookies, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But it was Mary's Gone Kookies. Gone Kookies. And I was just like, oof. I was just like, really? Organic kooks. Vincent Nywin, thoughts on the Arbor Westmark Camber? So I rode Arbor Westmark rockers for years. The last time I got on the Camber, it was a little underwhelming. I was like, oh, this used to have some more snap. It just feels like it doesn't have it. I need to get back on it and ride it more. I think it's like a good solid middle of the road park board, but in a time when a lot of stuff's changed, it's time to add a little more carbon or get more snap out of it somehow. Ronald Newman, can you compare the Union Strata to the new Union Ultra? Yeah. The Ultra is basically the replacement to the Contact Pro. And as such, it's softer than the Strata. The Strata would be more like your all mountain with a lot of lateral play from the pad on the bottom, whereas that canted foam pad, there's a lot more give in the Ultra in there. Actually was looking at a pair today. I thought I was going to have to buy a pair to get them for review, and I might still have to. But basically, if you want softer and looser, you go with the Ultra to an extent. You want a little more all-mountain versatility with a little more dampening, you go with the Strata. Okay. David Mongrain. Avran, looking to swap out my 2015 Carbon flagship either for a black Snowboard to Death or a Ravine Select. What do you think? 6 foot, 160 pounds, 10.5 boots. Thanks. Can't go wrong with either of them, but you're coming off a Carbon flagship. The Ravine Select will be noticeably softer. That black Snowboard to Death will be softer than when you got that Carbon flagship, but after 7 seasons, it's probably broken in. So it's going to feel like closer to how it is now. I think you probably, because of what you're coming off of, you want to go with the Black Snowbird of Death over the Ravine Select. Just my 2 cents on that one. Yeah, I don't need to answer that. Ambitious Hex. What is a small mom and pop mountain near Denver so you can ignore the crowds? Well, there's Echo Mountain, but there ain't shit there. It's going to be a bitch driving up to it. That's pretty much the closest. You can go to Eldora, but on the weekends, it's going to be a fucking shit show. There's Loveland. Still going to have to handle I-70. You could go to Winter Park if you really wanted to, but that place fucking sucks. Eat your pocket bacon, people. These are wise words from Connor Kubulis. Cunninlingus. Opening to lunch is the best shredding I've experienced. I find from opening to 1 o'clock, 1:30 is like the ideal time because you catch the people that quit early for lunch at like 11:45. They're not back out till about 1. So you get that extra hour or it's the money time. Oh, yeah, I don't. Okay. Let's see. We got Craig Morris. Oh, shit. Just scrolled. Just lost some stuff here. Where'd he go? Ah, there he is. Just bought my wife the Burton Yes Air because she liked the graphic, against my advice. Not a Burton guy, and there's not a lot of reviews on it. This board, at least okay for an intermediate ride, should probably be fine. So, I mean, it's not a mind. The Yes Air is not a mind-blowing board, but it doesn't suck. Okay. Got one here from Joseph Shanks. How would you describe the difference in feel between a directional cam rocker versus a rocker camber rocker? Thank you. More power and snap under the back foot. You're going to notice that when you're on edge, you get this slingshot effect and snap right out from under the tail as it disengages. When you're popping off a roller, you get more pop. You're also going to get better float from the nose when you engage it because that rocker elevates itself. So that'll get you up there. But yeah, so that'll do that for you. When you get into like that rocker, that reverse or rocker camber, like cam rocker, it's more centered. So when you engage, the power dissipates halfway back to the tail because you've got that rocker engaged. So unless you know how to roll your weight and push to the outside of the tail, most people will get on it and they don't get that slingshot effect out of the turn. They're both decent with their snap. It just comes down to it. Like if you're riding more pow, directional cam rocker is better than regular cam rocker every day of the week. It just makes sense. But when you're like cruising a groomer and stuff, you start to get more flap in that directional cam rocker than you do with the regular cam rocker. Okay. All right. Okay. Anthony Shuriel. My Facebook page keeps getting flooded with Montec and dope ads. I know how you feel about them, but is Evil in the same boat? Because I've been seeing their ads also. What brand should I be investing in? Well, Evil is just another house brand. So it's the same thing as Chamonix. They took an old existing trademark. They got it. They slapped some logos on some boards. I know Pete from the Interior Plane Project is the in-house brand manager for Chamonix and Evil. So the boards, like if you look at Evil, the boards are probably actually going to ride fairly well. Pete knows what the fuck he's doing. You look at their bindings and boots and you're just like, yeah, Jesus. I mean, it's just the house's way of keeping more sales inside. So when you buy like a Capita from the house, they have their cost to Capita on that. But you buy an Evil board from the house, that cost is way lower because it's just going to the manufacturer. I mean, they're keeping all that marketing and the branding and everything in-house for them. So, yeah. Zamerge JWT from St. Louis. Ooh, Outlaw Terrain Park, baby. Heading to Keystone for some early season ride in December 10th through the 12th. What conditions and crowds should we expect? Might be the white ribbon of death. Might not. I don't know. We haven't gotten snow yet. Literally want me to predict fucking like 5 weeks from now. 6 weeks. Could be good. Could be bad. I don't know. Okay. Let's see. Tim Holiday. Nitro squash or banker as a resort ripper? Yes. Either or. Just Kevin, any chance you'll be doing a new review of the Now Drives, or have they not changed since the pre-mullet Kevin reviewed them? Do I have? I feel like I have a pair sitting in here somewhere. I think I have a pair. Thought I grabbed a pair. I think I did. They've got a different strap on the toe, I think, and an upgrade in the ratchet since Lord Skrillex mullet wrote them. Okay. All right, we got a super chat here from Tal256. What is the easiest and funnest board you've ridden recently for rails that isn't a complete noodle? Tell us at it really sticks out. K2 Geometric is another one that was pretty good. The Signal Park wasn't bad. You can't go wrong with a Rome Artifact as well. To an extent, the Rosinal Retox. It really just kind of comes down to how much performance you want out of them, sir. Oof. Ouch. You lose. Okay. Lunay Denov, an advanced intermediate rider here. What bindings would you put on a Libtech terrain rocker, mainly riding on even terrain? That's what we call free ride here in Bulgaria. Carving some side hits and pow. So bent metal transfer is the first one that comes to mind because it's a Mervin board. They make bent metal. That one would be good. You might like a K2 formula. I mean, if you're riding on even terrain, you maybe even go into a nitro team just for that air pocket dampening that they have in there to help kind of kill off any of that energy that's coming up there. You should also probably check out like a Battalion Blaster a Battalion Astro full wrap. That would be another one. Isan Cow, what will be the best time to travel to Colorado for snowboarding? Probably after the demise of Vail Resorts and whenever I-70 is finished being constructed, because they're widening it again. Realistically, so you have January 1st, New Year's Day, right? There's kind of a peter off about 4 or 5 days after that. There's a 2-week period in January that's really cool because there's not many people. Then you get like the end of the month people, and start of February is like winter break. Mid-February is good. Then from March to April 7th to the 10th, it's kind of spring break and shit showy. Then it tapers off from there as well. Jacob Holm, when would you recommend the Amplitude Singular over the Mega Merc or vice versa? More freestyle rider, you go with the Mega Merc. More carving free rider, you go with the Singular. That's the way I would look at it. Mike Medvedev, what's wrong with the new Never Summer Second? It was designed by a fucking incompetent idiot. They put it inside the camber zone, so when you load it up, it creates a hook point. It's one of the hookiest side cuts I've ever been on. When it was more underfoot, it made sense because you're putting the downward pressure right on top of the varial. When you put it on the inside, you're putting the pressure to one side. So then you got this weird hook point in there. This is what happens when you have idiots that snowboard 5 days a year being your engineer because they don't care about snowboarding. They'd rather go fucking brap with their fucking moto watching MMA and chugging Monster. Okay. Michael Jackson, have you ridden at Wolf Creek? Yes. If so, how's the mountain? Early season, it's steeper and has good pow. Middle of the season, it's flatter than Breckenridge. Is the hot springs the real selling point to visit? I don't know. I don't go to them. Here's one from Ave. Are you going to review the 23 Mega Merc and regular Merc? If yes, when? They didn't send me any, so I'm going to have to snatch ones from my local rep, Dylan. If he's got them, I'm going to try to snag them. At the earliest, it'll be December. All right. Okay, Zach Trezian. What's a stiffer board? 23 Jones Ultra Flagship or Aviator 2.0? Out of the two, who would have the more laid back ride for those lazy days? Flagship, because it's cam rocker, and Aviator 2.0 is straight camber, and it's got a lot of camber in it. You notice that when you ride it, even though I think the Flagship is actually stiffer through the midsection compared to the Aviator, because it has camber, just feels like it rides stiffer. Yeah. Oh, hey, we got a spam bot. I love spam bots. Hey, Spambot. Ooh, Tinder, hot sex. Yes. I'm banned for life from Tinder. You can suck a fart out of my ass. All right. Putting you down for child abuse. Because I'm somebody's child and I feel abused. All right. Okay. We got Anthony Hawking with the super chat. Spin for Wiener at Joe's, Pocket Bacon, and Angry Feet. Pocket Bacon? Can't go wrong with pocket bacon. It's all about the pocket bacon. Eat at Joe's. Get a glizzy. Lawrence Kral, T-Rice Pro wide or regular with 11.5 Burt 9s. Get the wide. It's just more stability. Okay, Shy Lanks, best main runs to take the homies party boarding at Copper. Trying to get the new guys seasoned and give them the goosebumps. Go up, get off, go as fast as you can, and ollie off everything in your path. You'll find your way to Peace Park eventually. Okay. Sean Rome, any suggestions for decent cost-friendly bindings for the K2 Manifest team? Yeah, pick up a last year's set. Shit's marked down like 40% depending where you look if you hunt around. But for that board, what I'd look for is pick up like an old K2 formula from like last year. There's a ton of them kicking around. Or even like last year's Ride C8. You'll be golden. All right. Anthony Hawking with the super chat. $2 to go toward the $500 white space jacket review. Oh, no, because I'd have to buy it from Backcountry, and I refuse to give QVC my money or your money. You guys buy it and send it to me. I don't feel so bad about that. Well, sir, you won yourself a medium sticker pack with that one, too. You know the drill. You know how to get it. Email me info@angrysnowboarder.com. Get that in the mail to you. So, yeah. Anyways, I see we're slowing down on questions. So if you guys don't have any more, I'm going to dip out of here. Otherwise, let's start getting some of these in here. There's 160 of you Mafkas in here. Okay. Yeah. So also, I do want to talk more about the Shred Foundation charity drive we've got going on. So we're trying to get gear for Shred Foundation, specifically men's and women's small and large pants. Their mailing address is in the description of the video. There's a link to a contest I've got going on for all you guys that send stuff to them. Make sure you just put a note in there and be like with your name and email address so I know who it is. 3 people are going to win up to a $100 gift pack from me from Angry Snowboarder merchandise. So I'm going to pick 3 people at random, but that's going till December 9th or 10th, something like that. We're also going to have the 2nd annual Shred Foundation fundraiser that'll be starting here real soon, and there's going to be a bunch of boards given away in that, and we're going to be doing stuff. $10 entry into a raffle to win boards, and we're going to have multiple boards to give away. One of the big ones is a Yes Work Up. I've got some stuff from Ride, some stuff from Signal. I think I got some outerwear from Air Blaster I'm going to throw in there as well. So, remember to check that out. Also, if you haven't, Cultural Mystery link of the week is in the description. Go check that out. There's also some other links to other videos up for anyone that's looking for snowboard content. If you're looking for more of like a show like this, you should check out Unstrapped Snowboarding. Also, Jim and Ted have been putting out some killer content over on Shred Ahead Snowboarding. So go watch some guys in their 70s talk snowboarding. It makes their life awesome. I love making those guys happy. Stoked that maybe one day I'll be 70-something and hopefully won't be drooling on myself. So, yeah. Okay. All right, let's take a few more of these questions. Hawks fan, do you think the bent metal core pros I picked up will be too stiff for the eject, or should I stick to the transfers? The core pro is like as stiff as you want to go with the eject. If you'd gone to the solution, I'd say it's overkill. The core pro, you can get away with it on that eject. You're fine. All right, just saw Coin Valley Road back open. That was cool. Yeah, 6 months of only one road into Breckenridge. Now Coin Valley Road's open. If you're going down Coin Valley Road in Breckenridge, be sure to stop in to the brewery down there, Broken Compass. It's my friend Fordo. I have known him since before he was the master brewer there. He is a great dude. I love supporting him. My friend Jake is invested in it. My friend John is one of the bartenders. Swing in there, have a beer, tell them what's up, slap them a high five, because with that road being closed, they lost 20% of their business this summer, and we were already down 21.7% for visitation for the summer. So they took a hit. Swing in there, it's good. Also, if you got a dog, you should always swing into Animal Lovers down there too as well. Really good place for getting pet supplies for anyone that might be visiting Breckenridge and has their dog with them. So, yeah. Okay. Ave, ride A8 or C8, which one for park? What is the difference? Only stiffness? It's not the stiffness, it's just how they flex. The A8 will actually have more lateral roll because the aluminum is bent better. The composite on the C8 is a little more rigid, so it doesn't have that roll. So you get a little more lateral play in the A8. Honestly, if you're going for more of a park binding, bump down to the 6 series. You'll thank me in the long run for that. All right. And we got 0 mile ADV. I have a K2 Alchemist and a Karua Dart. Anything you'd recommend for more all mountain mellow, no park board? Yeah, I mean, pick up you could do a Passport, but I'd say almost go down to like a K2 Broadcast. That would be really good. Maybe a Jones Mountain Twin, a Rosinal Revenant, something like that would kind of fit in between those two. Okay, we got one here from Kaz. Thanks for your advice last chat. I went ahead and ordered the Capita Space Metal Fantasy as my flat rocker board. Questions about bindings. Will my current Flux GS bindings be okay on it, or get another binding? Nah, slap them on and go ride, girl. You're good. Don't worry about this. Go have fun. My knees are cheese. Where'd Baroness get her name? You a G.I. Joe fan? Fuck yeah, she's named after Baroness Day Cobra. You're the second person to ever get it right. Most people think I named her after Baroness, the metal band. They don't even get it. Like, that's literally where I named her. I named her because I knew she was going to have a black face, and the Baroness wore all black and had black hair, and is the sexiest G.I. Joe character ever. Yeah, I find cartoon characters sexy. What? But top of the fact, Sienna Miller looked really hot in the G.I. Joe movie, even though that was a dumpster fire. But yeah, that's where she got her name. So, yeah. So, like, I always thought it was funny that you see dogs named, like, Princess, Queenie, Duchess. You never see a dog named Baroness. So, plus it's very regal. Baroness's own land. Where we go? Subscriber else, people. Okay, we got one here from Drew Gallagher. Headed to Japan in January. What weird Japanese POW deck should I rent? So if you can find one, and I've been following this company for years, Offshore Snow Shapes. They're up in the Northern Island. But Josh, I think his name's Josh. It's been a while since I talked to him. Is a good dude, good shaper. It's very small stuff. Because most people will go over there and they'll get like a Gentum or a Moss. And they're like, oh, I got to Gentum. Oh, I fucking riding a $1,000 snowboard that's built like shit and will probably de-lam literally this first time I go off a mogul. Yeah, literally the mass-produced Gentums are better than the hand-built ones in Japan. Surprise, surprise. I know that pisses the Japanese off because those are made in China. But yeah, you should do that. If you can, try to find a TJ brand. And also, I would go look for a Death Label. They've got some really unique powder shapes going on. So go check that out too. Plus, Death Label sponsors our boy Andrew Brewer over at Unstrapped Snowboarding. Brewer, if you're watching this, get me a freaking Death Label to ride. I want to ride one so bad, but I also want to support you. So, yeah. And remember to eat at Joe's. I don't know where Joe's is. Tim Hunt, is the Atlas Pro much stiffer than the regular? I haven't ridden it, so I don't really know if it's stiffer per se. But I want to assume that it's just got a completely different ride to it overall, like looking at the specs on it when I looked at it and stuff. So, yeah. Okay, we got our boy B. Kings. Arbor Satori binding pairing. I currently have the Union Atlas and Rome Katanas. Should I be looking at any others? Thanks, Uncle Avran. No. You're either going to want the Atlas on there if you're going to. Should I be looking at any others? Thanks, Uncle Avran. No. You're either going to want the Atlas on there if you're going to go charge with it, or you're going to slap the Katanas on there. I personally think the Katana will probably match the flex and what that board's designed, just because I've ridden black labels on it. So I would say just go with the Katana. You'll be fine. Ooh, don't lick yellow snow. Oh, yeah. Don't lick yellow snow. It's not good for you. Bright Guy, why do Japanese butter vids look like they are riding cardboard? So first off, they max their stance out on things, and then they actually have this company that makes a titanium disc because it stiffens the board up underneath. It literally doesn't. It's fucking jerk off shit. But it's the way that they ride their bindings. And then if you actually look at the Japanese boards and how they mill the cores in them, like go look at, like, if you can find the core profiling and how they mill it, you'll realize that they have this weird, like, flex point, like super thin, but it's a small section. Then it gets really thick. Then it goes thin again. And what that does is that core is going to flex right at that point more than anything. Let's see. Where were we? Got our boy Garth Pierce. Hi, Avran. Great chat as usual. Is a move from an Arbor Element 59 to a 54 Warpig going to be a good transition? 52 years old, 205 pounds. Cheers from the UK. I mean, it's just going to be a little more stable for you with that flat to rocker that it's got versus, I'm assuming you had the Element reverse. I'm just assuming you might have had the Camber, but yeah, it's just, I mean, it's kind of just like a lateral move to the side. Realistically, like they sit in that same realm by and large. So, you know, but coming off of a 2015 Arbor Element, yeah, it'll be an upgrade. You're good. Let's see. Ronald Newman, are Jones bases as good as Capitas? Capitas have a better finish on them. They have a better structure through and through. Material wise, it's a little different. I mean, if you're going to run over rocks, no base is impervious. But personally, if I had to choose, I would choose a Capita. I think they just have a better base. That's just me. Vincent Nywin, have you rode the Jones Tweaker? Somebody forgot to search for the review of the Jones Tweaker. It's been up for like over a month now. How does it compare to something like the Battalion Evil Twin? It's looser in the tips. It's softer flexing than the Evil Twin. It's not as loose on edge just because it doesn't have the 3BT. It's got that spoon tech or whatever they call it. It's so minimal. Most people will never even notice it. That's kind of like the differences between it. Brendan Walsh, favorite place to ski in the Pacific Northwest? I don't ski. I snowboard, so I would never go to the Pacific Northwest to go skiing. This is a snowboard live stream. Snowboard. One board. We ride sideways. Skiers ride facing downhill with fuck sticks on. So I think you're confused. Francois Seguin, I don't know what to buy anymore. All I have are free riding party boards. What could I add from Karua? All mountain carving, laid back board, 190 pound size. Grab yourself an auto. Just grab yourself an auto. Put it right in the middle. You'll thank me later. So, let's see. Where were we? Trying to find some questions here. Let's see. Okay. Anyways, looks like we kind of caught up on questions. So you guys are slowing it down. We're losing people in here. So I think we're going to call it a day. It's a quick and mellow one. We did it hot and fast, and we're ready. I'm going to go eat the rest of my pocket bacon, take my dog for a walk, maybe go scream at some tourists if there's any around, and maybe go eat a crab rangoon or 3. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. Oh, we got to finish the poll. We forgot to close the poll. Let's close that really quick and see where we ended up first, too. So, okay, white ribbon of death, 56% out of 223 votes. 26% said no. And 17% of you are snobs. Snobs. Because I don't shred till the base is full. Yeah, what, afraid of a fucking core shot? That's why I make memes. But anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll be back next Thursday with another live stream. Remember, you got a review every day dropping. Tomorrow is the Nerd Superposition. Love those boards. I know that they've got a new size that will drop next month, which is a 151 for you ladies. So, yep, we're going to do that. Garth Pierce with the final super chat of the day. Avran, pocket bacon is great. My niece's favorite. Have you tried biltong? I don't even know what biltong is. I just eat bacon. I'm an American. I eat bacon. I don't know these UK things. Remember to eat at Joe's. I eat at Joe's every day. But, yeah, so if you're new here, remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not going to miss any of the videos we got coming out for all you snowboarders of the internet. And if you really like what we're doing over here, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. I got a video over there that kind of explains things. I got to redo it. And yeah, I'll see you guys in another video.